Welcome. I'm super excited about this session that we have. Today we're going to be having a conversation with our good friends at Onica, Rackspace Onica, and we're going to have our own AWS Central Region Partner Lead, Mike Dowling, conduct the discussion with Connie and Jeremy. So what I'd like to do is turn it over to you, Mike, and let's hear our good friends from Onica and what they have to say.
You bet. Chip, thank you very much for setting this up. And today we're talking with Jeremy Bendat and Connie Chen. They're both from Rackspace. Jeremy's the VP of Business Development, and Connie is the go-to-market strategist for Rackspace. And thank you both for coming to join us today. And I'm excited to leverage this format that we're using. It's a better way for us, I think, to help our partners share some of their unique points of view. And that's why we call these our POVs. And it's a good way for us to get to know the faces behind the brands that we work with. So Jeremy, Connie, welcome. How are you today?
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
Excellent.
Thank
I
you
love
for having
that
us.
background, guys.
All developed by our very awesome marketing team. Got the Onica on the side there. And Jeremy's is of the Santa Monica Pier. Santa Monica, Onica.
Ah, there you go. I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people were trying to figure out what Onica means. So now we know, Santa Monica. Awesome. Let's get into this. We don't have a whole boatload of time, and I think these point of view kind of discussions are helpful as we start to learn a little bit more about what our partners are doing and what you're seeing as success. And I'd like this to become something more of a program that we can drive to come back and ask other questions and other points of view. But first off, really what I wanted to talk about with both of you is that Rackspace made a big acquisition last year when it bought Onica. And you were both there. So tell us a little bit about that and how you believe it will help Racks with its overall cloud strategy, and how's the integration been going?
Sure. Great question and lots to unpack. So Onica, we got our start within the AWS partner ecosystem back in 2013. And so it was a small group of us that had an idea that the public cloud and that AWS in particular was going to change the world. And so we took a very bullish stance on going all in with AWS, meaning we did not support any other clouds. And we also took a bullish stance saying, hey, we're going to try and leverage as many of the fully managed services that Amazon offers out the gate and integrate them into our customers' workloads. And so we ended up building up a practice that started off with migrations and ended up evolving into a focus around what we call cloud native development and cloud native data solutions. And so this is everything that's made to build and extend and leverage the best of the cloud, from the elasticity to the ability to leverage microservices and containers, and then most importantly, continuous optimization. And so through the years, as Connie mentioned, we started in Santa Monica. We were able to expand east, landing in Texas and then in the Northeast. And through this, we started to make a pretty big name for ourselves, as well as acquire some of the other premier consulting partners in the ecosystem. The two that we were able to acquire, one was based in California called Sturdy Networks. The other one was the largest Canadian premier consulting partner called Trinimbus. And so we had basically complete North America coverage. And through the APN, we were able to work with a lot of different teams and really make a strong brand. Rackspace, on the flip side, has been a company that's been around since, I think it's been about just over 20 years now. And they have their own private data centers, which we call private clouds, and then also had multi-cloud partnerships where they were providing managed services across all three major public cloud providers. The one thing they didn't have that actually made this marriage and acquisition work was a cloud native innovation engine that Onica had become. And so in November of 2019, Rackspace made the determination and the offer to Onica to acquire us to become their go-to-market sales and delivery engine. And so since that time, it's been just over 8 months now, where we have been in the weeds with them. We've had the opportunity to work with their existing install base customers, as well as targets of theirs, bringing that unique Onica cloud native message. And we've actually also seen this work in face internally, where Onica's CTO, Tolga Tarhan, has now been promoted into the global CTO position of Rackspace. So Rackspace has effectively embraced what we've done, and they've done that both from promotions internally, as well as through an extension of the partnership with AWS, which is in the form of what we call a strategic collaboration agreement.
Fantastic. In fact, you just touched on something that I think is paramount to success in this space. Nothing happens in a vacuum, and everything that you had done to partner and identify other types of consulting partners to fortify your offering has led you to the role that you guys are in now as a leading cloud consulting partner for AWS. And this strategic collaboration agreement, tell me a little bit about how this strategic relationship is going to help you ensure your customers realize some greater value for AWS cloud services.
Absolutely. So I think the biggest thing to highlight as a part of the strategic collaboration agreement, or SCA as it's commonly referred to, is that we are naming AWS as our preferred public cloud. Meaning when we are looking at solutions for customers, our gut instinct now is to pick AWS first, which is a big, bold stance for Rackspace. For Onica, it was our only choice, and we love that. And what we ended up finding out was after the acquisition, we became aware that there was this strategic collaboration agreement that was evolving. And Onica, unbeknownst to us at the time, was a big part of that. They knew that they were making some big commitments to AWS as a part of this. And Onica was the mechanism to actually help deliver and fulfill those commitments. And so for us, we are, effectively probably the most mature division within Rackspace, because we do have 500 plus individuals that are engineers and architects, all certified and focusing exclusively on AWS. So our customers benefit because they now have the visibility and confirmation that we have the backing of Amazon and that sign off. And I'd say most importantly, we have the commitment of Rackspace that will continue to invest in the AWS space and continue to build new cool solutions and products and things to bring to market. And most importantly, continue to obsess and just make the cloud work. And as you guys say, work hard, have fun, make history. We're embracing that and taking that full throttle now.
So Connie, from a go-to-market perspective, how are you taking this partnership, this strategic relationship to customers? I mean, are you seeing the customers literally starting to look at accelerating their journey to the cloud, especially in the environment that we're in today?
So actually, yes, from the go-to-market perspective, I mean, there are kind of two lanes, right? From a go-to-market, from what I'm doing from go-to-market. One, it's bringing all of Onica's capabilities into the Rackspace portfolio. So from everything that Jeremy mentioned, cloud native development, IoT solutions, EIML, data transformation, migration as code methodology, and application modernization, bringing those capabilities into the Rackspace portfolio, but then also creating go-to-market strategies around that. And as we're creating these go-to-market strategies, something that I found has been very effective with talking about our capabilities and how we've been helping companies solve problems and use cases with our solutions is with customer success stories. And just to bring back to, have you seen how customers are reacting in this current COVID era? One of the most recent customer success stories that we've released is actually around black line safety. And what happened was they originally approached Onica way before COVID and lockdown happened, and it was originally a data platform modernization project. So they came to us to help them adopt cloud native technologies in their data platform, like Amazon EMR, Glue, Kinesis. And after COVID hit, they thought, why not integrate a contact tracing solution into their line of connected products? So, I mean, they were reacting with innovation, reacting to COVID with innovation by adding something that is a great value add to their customers with leveraging both AIML, IoT, and some of Onica's strongest capabilities.
That's fantastic. I tell you, what we're actually dealing with in 2020, I don't know that anybody ever could see that script. I mean, 2020 rolled in like a Mack truck, and we've all been scrambling to find a reset button. But it looks to me like some companies are much better positioned to deal with all of the challenges that we've got around COVID-19, all of the social and civil unrest that making people a little uneasy about business. Now, there's a ton that's going on. And one thing that I know for sure is that the sun rises and the sun sets every day. And we need to figure out a way to adapt. And as you look at 2020 and then beyond, how has that impacted your business and your customers? And what are you as a company doing to adapt to the new normal?
So I think the cloud is all about adaptation to all sorts of business events that we both control and just sort of are thrust upon us. That's the promise of cloud, is the ability for fast dynamic change. And we've seen this with organizations that have gone viral and have had an e-commerce platform that needed to scale up with the demands of their customers. I mean, you think that having your organization have a big viral surge in traffic is a good thing, but that's actually more of a quote unquote winner's problem, where all of a sudden we can't fulfill the demand. Amazon provides that elasticity to enable sales for those types of organizations when it's architected the right way. And we had a big hand in a lot of companies doing that. We helped some organizations work with their Super Bowl campaigns when they had commercials and they were expecting surges. Same thing with the halftime show. So we've seen it on the good side when times were good. In the time of COVID-19, and again, that hit us like a Mack truck, absolutely. The solutions that we helped organizations create, and we work with a number of transportation and energy and utility organizations, the solutions that we built for them were able to descale in the same way that they were able to scale up. So technology was actually not a cost center for them. The promise of cloud was delivered because everything was fully optimized and able to actually descale based off of the decrease in demand. And all of a sudden, as opposed to having to figure out how do I eliminate this technology cost center, it was already done. We had checked that box. Now, I will say that the opportunity for us was we had a lot of companies that we had spoken to about continuous optimization, continuous automation, that didn't actually enable that. And they came back to us and said, okay, we believe you now. Can you help us? So we actually saw a tremendous surge, beginning of March and through now, and we're expecting more for organizations that want to embrace some of the cloud promises because they just didn't yet. The other thing, as Connie touched on, is the innovation front. And we've also seen a lot of organizations that are leveraging this time of a bit quiet, of people being able to focus more at home, where you don't have an hour of travel to the office and an hour of travel home. They're leveraging that time to make their business more responsive to what's actually happening on the market. And so there's a lot of solutions that are coming out there. We're really excited about what some of the universities that we're working with are doing. We're excited by the way that companies want to leverage data, how they want to be impactful, and again, how they want to continue to try and grow and create jobs, because Lord knows we all need it right now. So again, the cloud is going to continue to fulfill lots of different promises. We're excited by what's to come, but at the same time, we don't know what's going to happen next week. We just know whatever we're doing, it's going to be on AWS.
Yeah, we just got to figure out a way to get through it. And the biggest challenge I see is, how do we get the word out to our customers, your customers, target customers, people who want solutions for the cloud and don't really even know it yet? Connie, what are you guys doing differently to reach out to these people, given that we can't congregate in expos anymore?
Given that we can't meet for in-person events, given that we can't go to AWS summits anymore, but there is that big digital online summit that's happening in September. Well, I mean, with the trend, everything's going digital. And what we have been doing is doing a lot of these awareness activities around cloud native development, application modernization, and innovation with AI/ML. Some things that we've been doing are webinars, and the main focus of the webinar are customer success stories. So pretty much just showing like how various companies and in various industries are leveraging Amazon services and Onica's capabilities like machine learning operations and data science to be able to create these solutions that solve specific problems like, for instance, predictive maintenance and real-time analytics. That seems to be a big question that's being asked and something that we're constantly being asked about in the field. Do you have capabilities? Yes, we do. For instance, one of our customers, they manufacture bone graft biologic, and their overall end goal is a smart factory. But just by IoT enabling one part of the production process and being able to help them collect real-time data on that specific portion of the process, which is also their bottleneck, it increased the yield every time they ran through the process and decreased the amount of production loss. And that was just manufacturing one piece out of their 17 portion production process and helping them along the lines of eventually enabling a smart factory solution. So those type of customer success stories are pretty much the focus of our go-to-market activities, our webinars, and even our virtual immersion days. And we found that like customers that hear other customers innovating actually helps them even think about, okay, if it was manufacturing, what am my production process? Can I adopt a virtual and-on solution? It gets them thinking about like how they can innovate.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Anything that can allow you to convey a message through these monitors that we're working through is really going to be helpful. And I think the innovation is really what is driving people's interest in leveraging the cloud. I think we're at the end of our time right now, but this is just the beginning of a long series of conversations that I'm looking forward to engaging in with both of you. And I really do appreciate you taking the time to share some of this exciting information with us. And I'm looking forward to talking to you next time.
Us as well. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Chip, for setting this up. And again, just excited to continue the partnership.
Rock and
Thank
roll.
you all. This was outstanding. Appreciate it very much.
Bye, guys.
Until our next time.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.